Okay, this is the hearing on Senate Bill 1328. Senator Lewis, feel free to start whenever you like.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Chair and distinguished members of the committee. For the record, I'm Senator Patty Lewis, representing Senate District 7 in Jackson County. Thank you for the opportunity to present Senate Bill 1328, which establishes every January as Blood Donor Month in the state of Missouri to align with National Blood Donor Month. As an ICU nurse who worked in trauma centers, I saw firsthand the impact blood products have on saving the lives of individuals. In trauma situations, there were several instances where we would literally transfuse blood into individuals as quick as possible, known as a rapid transfusion. But blood products help other patients with several medical conditions and diseases, like patients with cancer, sickle cell disease, pregnancy complications, for example. So you'll hear from some of my folks from a local blood center in my district. I've been partnering with the Community Blood Center and several leaders over the past several years in January to raise awareness and encourage donating of blood during National Blood Donor Month. And Chelsea Smith, who you'll hear from shortly, she brought it to my attention that Delaware has passed a state-level recognition to align with the national month to encourage donation and raise awareness, and was interested if I wanted to do the same here in the state of Missouri. So obviously the answer was yes, because I'm right here before you. But I think it's really important that we do recognize it on the state level, because one donation can save up to 3 lives. And 60% of Americans are eligible to donate, but only 3% actually do. If we were able to increase this by 1%, we could end the shortage of blood across the country. So you will have a copy of a witness form, a testimony from Kevin Wake, who is a sickle cell warrior. He's from my area. He was unable to come, but his personal story, who's received several blood transfusions. So in addition to asking for your support with 1328, I'm asking everybody in this committee, everybody in this room, and everybody who's listening to donate blood once a season, 4 times a year. If you're not eligible, you can still spread the word and encourage your family members and friends to donate on your behalf. And not only can you save up to 3 lives, but you can have all the Nutter Butters you want. With that, I'm happy to take questions.
With that, any questions of me? Senator Washington.
Hi, I just want to say thank you for bringing this bill. I've brought sickle cell bills in the past, so I'm very familiar with the need for blood transfusions and for those people that have blood supplies. And when I was a young reporter, the Kansas City Star sent me all the way to Washington, D.C., and that's when I learned, like, the kidney transplants depend on your blood type, so everybody can't give their kidney to everybody. So I really, really appreciate you bringing this bill. I may ask you to put a young lady's name on it. I know you're naming it Blood Donor Awareness. She suffered from sickle cell anemia from birth. She died at 39, and I watched her for all of my 30-something years before she passed suffer significantly with getting the blood, the pain, and all the other things that happen when you have sickle cell disease. And I'll be honest, I forgot to put her name on one of my bills, so I definitely would love to honor her. So, and I think that this could go consent. I really appreciate you bringing this, but let's see if we can add her number.
Yeah, let's talk about that, and thank you for all your work around sickle cell and raising awareness.
Thank you.
Thank you, and I agree with Senator Washington. I think it's a really good bill. I'm grateful you brought it before. For information purposes for the committee, I did talk with Senator Lewis in regards to considering this bill to be voted out consent. With that, I'd like to make a second and for it to be considered for being voted out consent.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
May I ask a question before
Yeah.
of the bill?
Oh, absolutely.
Do that? Thank
How dare I forget that you have questions?
you. Thank you, sir.
Senator Moon, my apologies.
It's not a controversial question. Goodness, I've donated, I think, 6 gallons of blood over the years. And one of the primary reasons I did was for the T-shirts. And they didn't have nutter butter, peanut butter sandwich cookies, I don't think, if that's what you're referring
Yes.
to. But they did have, of course, refreshments and things, and that was always a plus. I'm wondering, though, if you have any statistics on when they have these awareness days, because there are awareness days just about every day of the year. How much does designation of a particular thing like blood donations actually impact and improve or increase the donations and even the awareness? Because it seems like there's just everything, and it's kind of like cacophony of sound. You don't pay attention much anymore. So, do you have any statistics on the benefit of naming days like that?
Yeah, Senator, thank you. So I'm going to, I can't answer with specific statistics. Maybe the folks from the Blood Center can, but I will tell you a story about how we've seen an increase in people coming in. So back in COVID, shortly after I was elected, I heard from the media that the blood shortage was down in our community, and it was like a, significant low because, people weren't donating, people weren't going out and about. And me and this is when I was in the House, me and several of my House members, wanted to do something about that. We contacted the Community Blood Center, and we're like, what can we do, what we can do? And they're like, let's have an official month-long, virtual blood donation where we kick off with a press conference, bring in other electeds, other leaders in the community, and, just post and talk about it all month long. And we started that maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah, like 5 or 6 years ago. And since then, we've had more community partners and leaders join us at the beginning of each month. And during a time in January where it's statistically lower supply because of after the holidays, illnesses, cold weather, they have seen an increase with the media and what we're doing with like raising awareness with our partnerships. So I can't answer with statistics, but just wanted to share that story.
Okay,
with
good.
you.
Thank you. And Mr. Chairman, thanks for indulging me with that ability to ask the question.
Thank you, Senator Moon, and I'm actually quite impressed with that question. Thank you. We should keep them coming.
Yeah, I have another one.
Yeah, thank you, Senator Moon, for your question. And again, we can deal with this a little later, but I would like for the committee to consider Senator Lewis's bill to be voted out consent at some point. Okay. With that, any additional questions? Anyone in support?
Chair, members of the committee, thank you so much for the opportunity to testify today. My name is Chelsea Smith. I serve as the Senior Director of Public Relations for the Community Blood Center of Greater Kansas City. We have been operating headquartered in KC since 1958. We supply about 200,000 blood products to over 70 hospitals in the Missouri and Kansas region. On the receiving end of every single unit is, of course, a patient who would not be here today were it not for blood donors coming in the door. This could be a child undergoing cancer treatment. It could be a trauma victim, a surgical patient, mothers experiencing complications during childbirth. January happens to be recognized nationally as Volunteer Blood Donor Month. It's a designation established more than 50 years ago because this time of year brings about the same challenges every single year, day in, and year out. Seasonal illnesses are rampant. Severe winter weather keeps donors from coming out and donating blood. Schools are on break. That actually represents about 25% of the donor population in the country comes from high school students. Post-holidays are just busy. People are trying to get back into their regular schedules, and blood donation often falls to the wayside. So 50 years ago, those challenges were the same. We're still seeing that now. There's a reason that it's designated nationally as Volunteer Blood Donor Month, and there's a reason that we're here today to ask for this designation on the state level as well. Because we operate as a community-based blood center. We don't operate on a national level. And though we do benefit from this national designation, we also, as Senator Lewis mentioned, very much benefit from the support of our local elected leaders. And to Senator Lewis's point, we started our National Blood Donor Month press conference in the Kansas City area about 5 years ago with Senator Lewis and a handful of other elected officials at that time. Now it is an event that involves hospital partners, some of which are here to speak to you today. It involves local elected officials such as the mayor of Kansas City. It involves business leaders across the area. It's very much a joint community effort to raise awareness about this. And the best part, keeping in mind that my job is PR, my job is media, the best part is we get a huge, huge, huge push in our media attention. And what we often see is a direct correlation in donations. So we held our press conference this year on, I believe it was January 9th. That weekend saw the highest number of collections we've seen in the Kansas City area since 2023. So it's not just for fun that we're here today. This is actually a very real cause that has very real implications for community members, and your support here also has very real implications for the state of our blood supply. I've definitely deviated from all of my notes, I'm sorry. Blood cannot be manufactured. That's important. We have to rely on volunteer blood donors in the United States to be able to give blood so that these patients who can't live without it can still live. Declaring January as Blood Donor Awareness Month in Missouri is both a meaningful and proactive step that helps us elevate public understanding, it helps us increase our reach in the media, and it helps us encourage our community members to donate before we reach crisis levels, before we reach a blood emergency state. So on behalf of the Community Blood Center and the hospitals that we serve, and on behalf of other blood centers across the state of Missouri, we thank you for considering this bill and strongly support it. We also thank Senator Lewis for her leadership in bringing attention to this critical issue.
Thank you for the testimony. Any questions for the witness? Senator Washington.
I just want to say thank you again for being here. I know there used to be a big center on Main in Kansas
That's
City.
us.
Okay,
Yep.
Are you still there?
Yep.
And I just want to say thank you for explaining what having an awareness day does. I know that I've sponsored some awareness days in the past, mental health awareness, minority mental health, and it has really increased services that people seek, donations to nonprofit organizations, and just bringing attention to matters I think helps. So I really appreciate the senator for bringing the bill and you being here to support.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Any more witnesses? Oh, did you turn in your witness form, please? Just complete. You'll just complete that form and then just
Okay.
leave it right there.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. You need to go. You have to go. Okay. Okay. So, really quick, I'd like to make a motion to move into, and then we'll get with you in 1 second. I'd like to make a motion to move into executive session. Thank you for a second. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Ayes have it. We're in executive committee. I do want to move that we bring Senate Bill number 873 before the committee. Do I have a second? All right, received a second. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye? No? There we have it. Bills before the committee. This is Senate Bill 873, Senator Washington. This is a bill relating to a tax credit for providing housing for victims of domestic violence. Any discussions on this bill? Members of the committee? Okay. Yes, Senator Moon. Okay. All right. With that, I move that we do pass Senate Bill 873. Do I have a second? Okay. Any discussion? Seeing none, Secretary call the roll.
Williams,
Aye.
Washington, Aye. Lewis.
Aye.
Moon. Nicola.
Okay. All right, with a vote of 3-2,
3-2.
we have voted to do pass Senate Bill 873. All right, with that, I would like to also move that we move on Senate Bill, that's Senate Committee Substitute Senate Bill 871. Do I have a second? Okay, received a second. Motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it. Okay, move to second section. Could we, any discussion on this bill? This is Senate, this is another bill by Senator Washington, Senate Committee Substitute, Senate Bill 871, maternal mortality.
Motion to adopt it.
Okay, a motion to adopt, the Senate Committee Substitute for Senate Bill 871. Got Pat, Senator Lewis, second. Okay, with that, this is a bill pertaining to maternal mortality. Senator Washington as well. This would basically modify the Pregnancy Associated Mortality Review Board within the Department of Health and Senior Services. And then it would, under this act, allow the board membership to include at least one member from each congressional district, and members shall abide by the requirements of that board. And the board members are increased from no more than 18 members to no more than 22 members. Any discussion, members of the committee?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Senator Moon.
could I inquire of the bill sponsor, particularly with regard to the change from the original bill to the substitute? I heard the chairman's explanation, but for some reason I didn't get the substitute in my folder. Could you tell me what the change was in the substitute?
Me?
Yes, Senator Washington.
It just adds a clause that we also include as part of their report and study, that they identify what our maternity care deserts are throughout the state. For instance, like north of US 36, there's not really any maternity care really readily available, and most of our rural parts of the state. So we can't help maternal mortality if we don't know where it's happening the most, and so we wanted to add that information.
I think I recall you mentioning that during your presentation, if I'm not mistaken. Good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Any additional discussion or questions? Okay. Yeah, so with that, we'd like to make a motion to adopt the Senate Committee Substitute for Senate Bill 871. Have a second? Yeah. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, with that, I'd like to make a motion and move for a roll call vote. Motion do pass Senate Committee Substitute, Senate Bill 871. Could I get a motion, a second? We have a second? Okay, with that, any ayes? Ayes have it. Opposed? Roll call vote. Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Williams.
Aye.
Washington.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Moon. Nicola. 3-2.
All right, with a roll call vote of 3-2, you have voted do pass Senate Committee Substitute for Senate Bill 871, Senator Washington. And with that, I'd like to make a motion to exit Executive Committee. Have a second? With that, we make a motion to move out of Executive Committee.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, with that, we will continue on with the witness testimony in support of Senator Lewis's bill, Senate Bill 1328.
Thank you. Thank you to the chair and esteemed committee members for allowing me to speak. I am a colleague of Chelsea Smith. I serve as the Vice President of Blood Operations at Community Blood Center. Prior to that, like Senator Lewis, I also served in the healthcare realm as a genetic counselor for oncology patients. So I've seen the benefits of our blood supply specifically in the patients that I have treated. So while my colleagues shared more of a broader system perspective, I want to focus more on what the blood shortages really mean in terms of the patient care that we have as our responsibility in the state of Missouri. So at CBC, we do serve with 70-plus hospitals in that Missouri and Kansas region. And this is everyday partnerships to make sure that the blood that they need is available for patients of trauma, in cancer care, organ transplants, premature babies, and any complex surgeries. When our blood supplies are level, so usually a 7-day supply or more, then we are kind of able to work quietly and effectively. Under the radar, no one knows what really goes on behind the scenes to make sure these hospitals have that blood supply. But when these shortages become frequent, and we're seeing so frequent post-pandemic that we're living every day with a 3-day supply or lower, this becomes a norm that our community has become very accustomed to. And if anything, it's falling on deaf ears. When our blood supplies are this low, our hospitals are forced to postpone non-emergent surgeries. They are having to ration blood products. And they are having to make difficult decisions hand in hand with us on who gets what blood products that we do have on the shelves. And these are conversations that have become all too familiar on us in the background, so that our patients are not the ones that know of the blood supply shortages. And so to speak to a question that came forward, a lot of times when you are saying the same thing, that we have a blood shortage, it does tend to fall on deaf ears after a while, because they start to believe that it's more of a saying and not so much a situation that could affect Missouri citizens. So just as Senator Lewis very accurately said, with 60% of the population able to donate, we shouldn't be sitting in this place where we are having this constant shortage of blood. When every 2 seconds somebody in the United States needs blood, it really would take everybody voting, but donating once a year to really combat this and for us to not have a shortage at all. So really, blood donation awareness is what helps us bridge this gap between the reality that we face every day and servicing our patients to the full ability and patient care that they deserve in our state. So by recognizing January as Blood Donor Awareness Month, we would be sending a powerful message as the state of Missouri that maintaining a reliable blood supply is essential to our patient safety and to the resilience of our state's healthcare system. And so with that, Community Blood Center is proud to support this legislation, and we want to thank everyone on this committee, and especially Senator Lewis, for bringing forth this very important situation to your desks. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Any questions from members of the committee? Thank you for that. Please also make sure you complete a witness. Thank you so much for coming up. Anyone else in support? Anyone in opposition? Okay,
Support, Mr. Chairman.
it's in support.
Absolutely
Okay.
in support. Yes, thank
There
you,
we go.
Mr. Chairman. Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We are partners on this bill. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Samuel Lee, a registered lobbyist with Campaign Life Missouri, to go on record in support of Senate Bill 1328. And I appreciate Senator Lewis for bringing this bill forward and reaching out to me, because I just wasn't on my radar screen. Donating blood is pro-life. It is an opportunity to give life to someone else who we most likely will never know or will never see, but whose life we can help save. And donating blood is also scriptural, and there's all sorts of scriptures we could choose from, but I chose 3 short ones. 1 John 3:16. We know love by this, that he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for one another. Proverbs 3:27. Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due when it is in your power to do it. And a portion of Leviticus 17, verse 11. This is because the life of the body is in the blood. And of course, we all know we could pick all sorts of scriptures that support giving of ourselves and literally giving of our blood for other people. I'm a regular blood donor. The Red Cross recently notified me that I've reached my 10-gallon milestone, having donated 80 pints over my lifetime. I had not kept track, and it was just sort of like, oh, is that right? It's important for me to give. I like to go to the Truman State Office Building or to the Lewis and Clark Office Building, because it's just convenient when I'm in Jefferson City. It's done on a regular basis. There are a lot of really fine state employees who go to one building or the other, and it's just sort of nice to be there. And I've always been treated very well. One of the things I've noticed that the Red Cross does now, which it's not necessary for me, but I think is a good idea, they now send out probably within 4 or 5 weeks after I donate blood, they will say, not just a thank you, and they thank all the time, but your blood was used in such and such a place, at a hospital or for a surgery or things like that. They never identify the person. And I just think that's a nice touch for them to personalize that even more. So anyway, I'm just happy to support it and certainly hope that this committee will support this legislation.
Absolutely. Thank you for your testimony, and thank you for supporting many people, I'm sure at this point, in saving lives through donating blood.
I know of one person who I know, and that was my wife. She had surgery, hip replacement surgery, over 15 years ago, and for some reason, we never knew before we were married that we had the same blood type, and we figured out later on, and they asked me to donate to just in case, and sure enough, she needed extra blood after that surgery, so I'm glad I did for there.
Wow, most instances, it's usually the wives that are saving the day, so you get a start.
In most cases, that's true with my wife, for sure.
Thank you. Any questions from the committee? All right, with that, thank you for your testimony. Really appreciate it. Okay, anyone else in support? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. My name is Connor Stengler. I'm a registered lobbyist and director of advocacy and policy at University Health Kansas City. We are the social safety net essential hospital for Kansas City and Jackson County. We have 2 hospital locations, one in the Hospital Hill area in downtown KCMO, and then out at Lakewood Medical Center out in eastern Jackson County. I just want to thank Senator Lewis for inviting us and asking us to testify in support of SB1328. University Health supports this bill. Most relevant to today, we operate the Kansas City area's busiest trauma center. We are a level 1 trauma center, which means we have comprehensive 24/7 care. We have subspecialty specialists on site at all times, from ortho to cardiology to plastic surgery. So we have a very busy emergency department. We get patients not just from the Kansas City specific area, but we get trauma patients actually from all over the region in Western Missouri. So we see a lot of patients. About 1/3 of our trauma patients need some sort of blood content, whether plasma or whole blood. And just like my colleagues back here said, those are often in limited supply. And so when we have especially mass casualty events, think of the Chiefs Parade shooting, which is almost exactly 2 years ago, February 13th, 2024. University Health saw about 20 patients that day. And then our partners, Children's Mercy Hospital, right next to us, also saw some pediatric patients that day. Large car accidents, any sort of mass casualty event, our physicians are usually making hard decisions about distributing blood, rationing blood, whatever form it is. And so we know any sort of message, any sort of effort or attempt to raise the salience of an issue like this is very important. So we're proud to testify in support of this bill. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
No, thank you for that testimony, and thank you for what you guys' organization do in Kansas City and beyond.
Thank you.
Any questions from the committee for the witness? Okay, no questions. Thank you so much for your time. Anyone else in support? Anyone in opposition? Anyone for informational purposes only? Okay. With that, that will conclude the hearing on this. Any questions or any comments you want to make, Senator Lewis, as we conclude?
Just want to say thank you for bringing this bill forward and for the committee full attention to this matter.
Thank you. That will conclude the hearing on Senate Bill 1328. With that, we have up next Senator Carter with Senate Bill 1282.
Chair, committee members, I appreciate the opportunity to bring this bill to you again. I'm happy to play the song if you would like to be reminded a little bit of what it is that we're here for. This bill came to me from a lot of constituents in my district. Kenny Ray Horton is the one who wrote the song. He's a Navy band, part of the Navy band, and this is just a song that we're trying to put as the Missouri tourism song. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them, but it was a great song. Patty, I think it was you that asked me yesterday if we should play the song again. But again, he's just really well loved across the state and across the country. And I think it highlights a lot of the areas of our state, and would like to see this get passed. So open to any questions if you may have them.
Any questions for Senator Carter? Committee? Senator Moon? Oh, I'm sorry. Senator Lewis?
Well, I'm just going through, got up here, but I do especially, and I need to point out that my favorite lines in the bill or in the song are referencing Kansas City barbecue. So I
We wanted to
remember-
make sure that you were included, Senator.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and I am, if the committee wants to, I'm happy to re-listen to the song. I think it was a fun one, but anyway, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Lewis. Senator Moon?
Thank you. Good morning, Senator.
Good morning.
Or good afternoon, I should say.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, the current Missouri song is the Missouri Waltz. So will this be replacing?
No,
the
this
Missouri
isn't the
Waltz?
Missouri song. This would be just a tourism song
Just
that they
the
would use
tourism.
under
Okay.
the state tourism.
Okay. Would there be waltzing?
Well, Senator, I think waltzing is appropriate at any time if other than a Senate hearing. I will not put restraints on how many times we waltz or where, but
Sounds like a plan. Thank you.
thank you.
Okay. You good, Senator Nicola?
Yeah, I'm only familiar with the rock band named Missouri, so I'm good.
Do you need me
understand.
to play the song, Senator? 2 minutes
I
long.
think you played it last time.
Very happy.
I remember it from last time.
I know your time's important.
Yeah, I think we still got it very clear in our minds somewhere. One testifying in support? Here we go. This is a special day. Between you and Sam, I mean, we just doing good. I mean,
He's speaking for the.
what, I can't remember last time
the
I
people of
seen
Missouri.
Sam and everybody just coming in and support. This is great.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Actually, I was over finishing up the other committee, but I'd like to be in support of both of the bills, the Blood Awareness Day for SB 1282 and SB 1328. And I feel that this is an appropriate song, especially if it's going to be tourism that generates dollars, which means we're $2 billion short, according to the Missouri State Auditor, on our finances. We have to cut $1 billion this fiscal year in appropriations, $1 billion in 27. And so if we can increase our tourism, we can get more people to come to Missouri, spend sales tax, spend hotel motel tax, I think it's a good endeavor all the way around. So those reasons, I support the bill.
And those are very good reasons. Thank you for that. Any questions of the committee? Oh, sounds like this is a really good day, Senator Carter. You might be all right. Thank you so much for your testimony.
Thank you.
Anyone else in support? Anyone in opposition? Anyone here for informational purposes only? Okay, with that, Senator Carter, do you have any closing remarks?
No, just this highlights a lot of the areas and the things that, I taught my kids classical model, and we used a lot of songs to teach things. And I think the way that it covers so many different areas and aspects of our culture and our history, the Pony Express, Kansas City barbecue, to be able to use that nationally as a song would be, I think, helpful to tourism. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. And with that, that will conclude the hearing of Senate Bill 1282. Senator Carter. With that, I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Got my second? All right with that? Ayes in favor? No? All right. With that, that will conclude the Committee on Progress and Development. Thank you all so much for your time.